You see, Hades is a god who has never really been seen with a good light by humanity since, well, ever. Hades' name means the unseen one, since almost no one even dared to try to make a depiction out of him, which makes my job in this video much more difficult than I intended. No one even mentioned his name, just because he believed that if you said his name, you would either die or be taken by your feet to the underworld. So people gave him nicknames such as the Rich One or the Shadow. You can see where I'm going on with this, right? Since then, Hades has been depicted as a villain in any media that has Greek mythology involved in the middle, while in actual mythology he didn't really do anything to deserve such title. In Greek mythology, Hades is indeed rather strict and cold, but that is because he did have to control balance in the underworld to make sure nothing would erupt in complete chaos. So although he didn't really want to, he knew someone just had to do it. And so he ruled with somewhat of an iron fist, being more passive than evil or cruel, making sure to help those he deemed that deserved it. And one of those people was a man called Orpheus, who has appeared in a lot of pop culture as well. But Orpheus was the son of Apollo, the god of music and poetry, also practically everything good in ancient Greece. And Orpheus was known to be the greatest musician of his time. He was married and hopelessly in love with a girl called Eurydice, but sadly one day Eurydice was being chased by a farmer that wanted to rape her, and was bitten by a snake, and ended up dying. This kind of situation happens a lot in Greek mythology, don't worry about it. Orpheus, known for being a full-time dramatic, entered a huge state of depression that came through his music and made everyone in his village depressed as well. Apollo, who was having none of that, decided that he had to do something about the situation and told his son to try and reason with Hades about his wife. Or something. He had to, or else everyone would just become full-on suicidal. That part is much more darker than I remembered. I'm sorry. And so our hero goes and ventures into the underworld with only a lyre, surprisingly with no inconveniences, and meets with Hades and his wife Persephone in their castle. Orpheus asks Hades to at least give Eurydice a few more years so they can live as a married couple. After all, he couldn't live with the pain of being without her. Persephone feels bad for the guy and wants to help him immediately, but Hades is still a little bit skeptical. He says he would love to help him, but the god has the same ideals as teachers and mothers, that being, if I let you have it, I have to give in to everyone as well, and he tells Orpheus he can't simply let anyone leave his kingdom. So Orpheus, to prove his pain and valor, starts to play a sad song in his lyre to convince him. And, ends up making all of the underworld freeze for a moment. Even the souls that were being punished in the torture fields stopped and start to cry to the melody. It's like the song used in the commercial of Doctors Without Borders, but like 100 times worse. Hades and Persephone feel extremely moved by the end of the song, and they finally let Orpheus take Eurydice back, but with one condition. Orpheus can lead his dead wife back to the land, but he cannot look at her for the entire trip, or else he would have to let her go forever. Orpheus then starts leading Eurydice back to the surface, but he stops for a while. He wasn't being able to listen to her footsteps and thought that maybe Hades had tricked him. So Orpheus decides to be stupid and look back, only to see Eurydice being taken away to the underworld again. So Orpheus goes back to the surface all sad again, and eventually dies. But relax, the Muses, the goddesses of the arts, later takes his head and use it to make sure he sings for them forever. The end. What? Did you expect a happy ending? This is Greek mythology, there are no happy endings.